In today's lesson from Matthew, Jesus said, "Whoever welcomes you welcomes me, and whoever welcomes me welcomes the one who sent me. And whoever welcomes a prophet in the name of a prophet will receive a prophet's reward. And whoever welcomes a righteous person in the name of a righteous person will receive the reward of the righteous. And whoever gives even a cup of cold water to one of the least of these little ones in the name of a disciple, truly I tell you, none of these will lose their reward." I want to tell you a little story. It's not mine, and I didn't write it, but it's more fun to tell than my story. Jim and his dad were playing catch when Jim asked, "Dad, is there a God?" Dad had the same hopeless feeling he'd experienced before in high school during a baseball game. He had lost sight of the fly ball in the blazing sun and didn't know whether to move forward or backward or just stay put. He panicked. So he answered honestly, "I don't know." Jim, still curious, asked, "If there is a God, how would you know him?" Dad said, "I really have no idea, Jim. I only went to church a couple of times when I was a kid, so I don't know a lot about those kinds of things." Jim was deep in thought while they continued to play. Suddenly, he headed to the house, yelling over his shoulder, "I'll be right back. I have to get something." Jim returned with the mylar balloon he got at the circus, a pen, and an index card. "Jim, what in the world are you doing?" "I'm going to send a message to God by airmail." He wrote on the index card, "Dear God, if you are real, and if you are there, send people who know you to Dad and me." Dad didn't want to put a damper on Jim's enthusiasm, so he said nothing and he prayed silently, "God, I hope you're watching." Jim tied the card to the balloon string and they watched it sail away. 2 days later, they pulled into a free car wash near a church. Dad said, "How much?" "It's free," the guy told him. "No strings attached." Dad said, "Really?" "We just want to show you God's love in a practical way." "Wait, are you Christians?" "Yeah, we're Christians." "Are you the kind of Christians who believe in God?" The guy said with a smile, "Yeah, we're that kind of Christians." Looking at Jim with a big grin, Dad told the story of the balloon with the message. "I guess you're the answer to one of the strangest prayers God ever received." In today's lesson, Jesus is talking about living the Christian life in a practical way. Our life of faith is not meant to be private. It's meant to touch others in practical ways. How much we love God can be measured by how well we treat others. Jesus' example of giving a cup of cold water to a thirsty child is a good model of unselfish service. Often, ordinary people like us think of ministry or mission as something grand, like going to a third world country to build an irrigation system, or Doctors Without Borders, or Habitat for Humanity. And these are absolutely great things, but not everyone is called to service in that way, though our very own Alicia Burrell is. It doesn't matter who we are, or how old we are. It doesn't matter if we're in school or work, or retired, or healthy, or disabled. Jesus is commissioning us to touch others in the practical ways, like letting a harried mother with a really cranky child go before you in the line in the grocery store, or letting anyone go ahead of you in the line in the grocery store just because you want to share God's love in a practical way. Slowing down enough to listen to someone answer your question. "Hey, how you doing?" instead of just running by really fast. You know, sometimes you say that, "Hi, how you doing?" You keep going, stop and listen. Picking up something that someone dropped, smiling, holding a door for someone, offering your seat to a lady or an elderly person or anyone, dropping off a meal, giving a ride, calling a friend who you missed in church on Sunday, not to make them feel guilty, but to make sure they're okay. Something could have happened. They could be sick. They could be just fine. You won't know if you don't ask. Volunteering on Wednesday evening at the Piece of Bread dinner at the Presbyterian Church, that's really fun. You don't have to do it every Wednesday. Just once in a while, show up. It's great. There are plenty of volunteer opportunities through the Northbridge Association of Churches if you want to do something in the community. I know you can think of many, many things that are small that you can do to brighten someone's day and show the love of Christ in a practical way. There are many, many ways to touch someone. Think of one little thing that you have done or do or will plan to do this week, this afternoon. Talk about it. Talk about one thing you will do this week to reach out and touch someone with the love of Jesus Christ. Keep it simple or grand. Just do it. We can talk in coffee hour about, gee, I think I'll give a bottle of water to someone, carry it around with you, and then just take it and hand it to a stranger. So have a cup of water. It will not only make someone's day, it will make you happy. And if you can think of a bunch of things, then by all means, do a bunch of things. One small act of kindness can have a major impact on someone's life. Further on in Matthew's Gospel, chapter 25, 34 to 40, which is my favorite, Jesus said, "Then the king will say to those on his right, 'Come, you who are blessed by my Father. Inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the creation of the world. For I was hungry, and you fed me. I was thirsty, and you gave me a drink. I was a stranger, and you cared for me. I was in prison, and you visited me.' Then the righteous will reply, 'Lord, when did we ever see you hungry and feed you? Or thirsty and give you something to drink? Or a stranger and show you hospitality? Or naked and give you clothing? When did we ever see you sick or in prison and visit you?' And the king will say, 'I tell you the truth. When you did it to one of the least of these, my brothers and sisters, you were doing it for me.'" God notices every good deed we do or don't do, as if he were the one receiving it. Is there something unselfish you can do for someone else today? Although no one else may see you, God will notice. Let us pray. Almighty and most merciful God, we remember before you all poor and neglected persons whom it would be easy for us to forget, the homeless and the destitute, the old and the sick, and all who have none to care for them. Help us to heal those who are broken in body or spirit, and to turn their sorrow into joy. Grant this, Father, for the love of your Son, who for our sake became poor, Jesus Christ our Lord.